y'all. Hello, y'all. I don't know if it got that. I'm going to talk today here a little bit about something that affects me on a daily basis since my oldest was born in 2000. Well, she was diagnosed with this in 2001. And then I had my boy, and then my other girl, she was diagnosed with it as well. My boy is a carrier of it. I am, and their dad is too. Anyway, here's what it is here. Very long chain acyl-coenzyme A dehydrogenase deficiency. No, that's a mouthful, lady. But yeah, this is something we deal with on a daily basis here. Here's some links to look at there. I'll leave the main links there. You can look at it if you want. But here's the wiki, what the wiki says, and I've got other. Anyway, here you go. It's a fatty acid metabolism, damn, sorry, disorder which prevents the body from converting certain fats to energy, particularly during periods without food. Those affected by this disorder have inadequate levels of an enzyme that breaks down a group of fats called very long chain fatty acids. And here's signs and symptoms: hypoglycemia, lethargy, hepatomegaly, sorry, muscle pain, and cardiomyopathy. Mutations in this gene, in the ACADVL gene, lead to inadequate levels of an enzyme called very long chain acyl-coenzyme A dehydrogenase. Without this enzyme, very long chain fatty acids from foods and fats stored in the body cannot be degraded and processed. As a result, these fatty acids are not converted to energy, which can lead to characteristic signs and symptoms of this disorder, such as lethargy and hypoglycemia. Levels of very long chain fatty acids or partially degraded fatty acids may build up in tissues and can damage the heart, liver, and muscles, causing more serious complications. Typically, initial signs and symptoms of this disorder occur during infancy and include low blood sugar, lack of energy, and muscle weakness. There is also a risk of complications such as liver abnormalities and life-threatening heart problems. Symptoms that begin later in childhood, adolescence, or adulthood tend to be milder and usually do not involve heart problems. Episodes of very long-chain acyl-coenzyme A dehydrogenase deficiency can be triggered by periods of fasting, illness, and exercise. It's common for babies and children with early and childhood types of VALCAD to have episodes of illness called metabolic crisis. Some of the first symptoms of a metabolic crisis are extreme sleepiness, behavior changes, irritable mood, poor appetite. Some of these other symptoms of VALCAD in infants may also follow: fever, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and hypoglycemia. And like I said, I had to deal with that as well. And my oldest had little kid. They are very picky, when they're that little. She was one of them extremely picky children. She had to have a feeding tube, and because she wasn't getting proper nutrition, because like I said, can't force feed them, because she wasn't getting the right amount of these, wasn't getting the proper nutrition, because she wouldn't eat properly at that age. So they put the feeding tube in and everything, but she don't have it anymore. She got it took out a long time ago. And then they tried to put it in her sister, Emily. This child, no problem at all eating. She will eat just about anything you put in front of her. Anyway, there's a treatment. If it's not treated, they can develop breathing problems, seizures, coma, and death. That's extreme cases. If it goes without unchecked and everything. When they first got it, they scared the shit out of us with this stuff, Anyway, here is the U.S. National Library of Medicine page here, genetics home reference, talking more about it there. like it said, you know, it can, they can have it from infancy, or it can show up when you're grown up, you know, like, but it's milder case. It's not as severe as if you get it from birth, you know, in vitro, you know what I mean. Uh, let's see there. It says symptoms begin in adolescence or adulthood. They usually involve muscle pain and the breakdown of muscle tissue. The destruction of muscle tissue releases a protein called myoglobin, which is processed by the kidneys and released in the urine. Myoglobin causes urine to be red or brown. They've never had that happen. And like it said, the fasting and stuff. And it's sometimes mistaken for Reyes syndrome, severe disorder that may develop in children while they appear to be recovering from viral infections. Frequency there. It's estimated to affect 1 in 40,000 to 120,000 people. Causes. Mutations. Mutations. It don't say what mutated it, but if you research GMOs and vaccines and stuff, there you go. That's, yeah. It's called, my initial research that I have on my other laptop and my computer, which I can't get on right now, either one. But that's all it said was caused by the environment. You know, there, like I said, the GMOs and vaccines, and but go as far back to Vietnam as Agent Orange. Who knows? You know, could it be a combination of all these things? Anyway, mutations in the acyl-CoA gene causes the VALCAD deficiency. It provides instructions for making an enzyme. Like I said before, I'm not going to repeat this shit. These fatty acids are found in most. These fatty acids are found in foods and the body's fat tissues. They're a major source of energy for the heart and muscles. They have to go to the heart doctor once a year, as well as going to Duke every year to get checked up and all that stuff. Mutations in the acyl-CoA gene lead to a shortage of the VALCAD enzyme within cells. Without sufficient amounts of this enzyme, they're not metabolized properly, these very long chains of fatty acids. As a result, these fats are not converted to energy, which can lead to the characteristic signs and symptoms of this disorder, such as lethargy and hypoglycemia. Very long-chain fatty acids are partially metabolized fatty acids that may also build up in tissues and damage the heart, liver, muscles, like I said there. Anyway, now you can learn more. Click that. Like I said, there's lots of stuff in here you can click on. Inheritance. This condition is inherited in an autosomal recessive pattern, which means both copies of the gene in each cell have mutations. Means both parents give them that same mutated gene there. The parents of an individual with the autosomal recessive condition each carry one copy of the mutated gene, but they typically do not show signs and symptoms of the condition. I don't have it, and neither does their dad. So there you go. I've never heard of this. We never heard of this before until Annie was born. There, and they diagnosis there. Shit. There, you can click on them there. Other names. Oh shit. Oops. There. There's more than that actually. Annie's is very long chain. Acyl-CoA enzyme A dehydrogenase deficiency. See, that's the same thing. And there's also medium chain. That's what Emily has. Annie has the very long, and she has the medium. There are differences there on how much fat intake each one of them can have there in a given day. Okay. There's additional information. Sources for this page there, if you want to check that out. Okay, here. This is, you know, natural cures for this, but anyways, something that as far as I've researched, cannot be cured. You just have to deal with it, adjust. They have to have a low-fat diet, and so there's lots of foods that they cannot eat and stuff. I'm sorry if the print's so small, I can't blow it up here or nothing. So anyway, um, management involves avoiding fasting, maintaining high carbohydrate intake, and treating episodes of acute disease with a glucose-containing intravenous fluids. Medium-chain triglycerides, whose oxidation does not involve Valcad, can be administered to provide calories, but should never be used until the diagnosis of Valcad deficiency is certain. See, look, there's some typos in there. See, V. Anyway, and there, like it said, the signs and symptoms and stuff. This ain't what I really wanted to show on this page. It's, let's see, where's my state? There we go. There we go, okay. It's to find treatment centers and stuff in your state, there, and, stuff, so all these places I find where I live here. I'm going to be looking into this stuff as well, when I, excuse me, do some more research here on this. Okay. Try to get it back to the top there. Anyway, like I said, y'all can, I'll leave the links for these main things here, and y'all can click on whatever you want to look at there. Here we go. This is Natural Cure Center, Natural Health Center. That's a chiropractic place. That doctor, Earth Heart, that's a health food store. It's up near where I work. Eagle Chiropractic Family Wellness Center. That's in Old Fort. That's, I believe, Native Americans. Right now, I hate using that, but with the medicine man I used to go to for my ears, Chief Two Trees, I believe that's his family there. I'm not 100% on that, but anyway, there's some more there. Not CVS, come on. They sell vitamins and shit, come on. Anyway, and I'm sure there's more than that around here as well. Anyway, here we go, some more. I'm almost done with this, sorry y'all. But this is something that's very important to me, you know, and I deal with it every day. This is a PDF thing, maybe you can get there and look at. MCT oil is recommended. But you look in a lot of foods, it's found in some foods as well. It says they describe our experience in treating patients diagnosed with this over a median of 104 months. They report 5 novel mutations. In 2013, we formalized our treatment protocol, which essentially follows a European consensus paper from 2009 in our own experience. The prescribed low natural fat diet is relaxed for patients who are asymptomatic when reaching age 5 years, but medium chain triglyceride oil is recommended before and after physical activity regardless of age. Metabolic stability, growth, development, and cardiac function are satisfactory in all patients. There were no episodes of encephalopathy or hypoglycemia, how do you say, I'm sorry, but 3 patients had episodes of muscle pain without rhabdomyolysis. Body composition studies showed a negative association between dietary protein intake and percent body fat. Larger patient cohort and longer follow-up time are required for further. But see, they never told us this stuff. The prescribed low natural fat diet is relaxed for patients who are asymptomatic when reaching age 5. They never told us that. Of course they wouldn't tell. But anyway, there's probably more of that. But I just wanted to cover the basic here. Okay. Anyway, and there we go. Treatment. there. Let's see, here it's just saying same stuff I said there. Um, it's done saying it, the symptoms, the cause symptoms there and stuff. It's not got very much, but there's some links in there. I haven't clicked in them. The B12 vitamin deficiencies underdiagnosed. I know when Annie was a baby, they had me grinding up the vitamin B12 and putting it in her formula, which did not go very well, I might add. Anyway, if you've had kids or know people that had kids, yeah, that's all I'll say. Anyway, think The Exorcist. You know. Anyway, bleh. Okay. But seriously though, y'all, this is something that I go through, deal with on a daily basis. And you know, you worry about them every day, and if you know deep down they'll be okay. But you know, being a parent, it's always there in the back of your mind, you know, because of the what it can do to them, you know, the fatty liver and then the heart issues and stuff, and it also causes microcephaly. You know, that's small, but it ain't. I don't see that in either one of them, but they say it's there. But anyway, you know how doctors are. But anyway, that's why, you know, I do, when I first came on here, I had started researching this and seeing alternatives, finding alternatives to what they were offering, and got off track on that and everything, onto other things, and like, I didn't forget about it, but it's, you know how it goes on here. But I always, you know, would look, still search for this, is my main focus on here, and that's why I cover a lot of the natural remedies and stuff like that on here. I may not be able to do all that I say with them, but I'm just putting this out there for people that are affected with the things like this, these disorders, or you know, if they just want to be more healthy, you know, like. Anyway, that's all. You know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this and what I go through on a daily basis with this, with dealing with this, because I don't see nothing about it much on here at all. But like I said before, it's caused by a gene mutation, and if you know anything about GMOs, vaccines, you know, and the things they spray in the air and whatever, you know, we're breathing the water we're drinking with fluoride and shit in it. There you go, mutation, you know, genetically modified organism. What's it doing to us? This is right here. Anyway, thanks y'all for listening. Have a great rest of the day. I love y'all, and take care. See ya.